Okay, hi, you're welcome. My name is Opsy. This is my loving husband,
Mr. O.
Mr. O. Thank you for being here. So, I put a post on my Instagram about accents, the way we speak. We are migrants in the UK, just a bit of introduction. I've been living in the UK for over 18 years and I came to join my husband. I think you started coming into the UK maybe about 20 years ago or so.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've been here for over 18 years. We have two children born here, and one is 16 and the other one is 15 years old. And the UK is our home. But, there is a topic that I put a post on about that I want to discuss. And it's about our accents, how we talk, how our words come out. People can't understand us, and that's okay. I think we're very used to explaining ourselves, spelling. Um, thank God we're educated, we can spell. If there's something people don't understand, but it's when it's a subject of ridicule. When people ridicule us and kind of belittle us because of the way we speak or the way our words come out, that's when it's not okay. I've had so many experiences and I'm still having these experiences. So I said, why not? Let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it. And this video is not going to be, it's not a fight, not quarrel, no conflict, not stirring any conflict, but hopefully it will get to the audience that it needs to get to. Let's just say natives, people born here, mostly whites, but not just whites. And there's a reason. And when I start to share my story, you will know that. And I've experienced this, and you have experienced this as well. I don't know if you want to start by sharing any example or.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a particular time. This one I won't really place it on the accent, but it's still about the way we call things, the way we pronounce things, and our knowledge of the English language. I was working somewhere, and a native English person was holding something, doing like she want to put it in her mouth, and I asked whether whatever she was holding is edible, and she just frowned, whatever that means, edible. Then I continued saying the same thing. Is it edible? And then she had to call another person, another white person, and I said the same word to both of them, and they looked at each other and they rolled their eyes and say whatever that means.
Yeah, it's the rolling of the eyes and whatever that means, not the questioning, like they don't know or
Yeah.
wanting to know. Yeah.
So, and now I felt I needed to explain what I meant, and I explained to them, okay, can one eat it? That's what I mean by whether it's edible, whatever you're holding. They now look at it, oh, you mean inedible? Okay.
Say it well.
That's the way they said it. So I felt, okay, maybe I wasn't pronouncing it well. So I asked them, is it not the same thing I said? Maybe it's just my accent. So this is what I said. I spelled it for them. Edible. They looked at themselves again and rolled their eyes and kind of started laughing. They said, no, it's inedible. Okay, spell it for me, I said. Then the girl said, it's EATABLE. I said, oh, yeah, eatable, but that's not, eatable can pass, but when something you can eat it, when you can eat something, you actually say it's edible. They didn't agree with me, but
I remember you told them that English was
like a kindergarten
English.
kind of English for the same thing. Yeah.
You lectured them.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that's a very good story. I'm not sure if I was even here in the UK when that happened, or maybe I was there. I just came.
Maybe you came newly then.
Yeah, then
That was 2007, I think.
when that happened, and then in my mind I was wondering, like, how can you be teaching Oyibo people English as white people English? Like, there's something fundamentally wrong here. And these were not people that weren't educated; they were actually
They were in school.
yeah, educated people. So, well, my own first experience, which was, this, I'm not going to, I didn't hold anything against this setting. I didn't even know to. Then I just came and I was looking for a job. And then I went with my husband into, like an employment, a job agency shop. And I was saying the kind of jobs that I could do, and my husband went with me, and we were talking. And then the guy, the person attending to us, and maybe the lady said something. They were asking my husband, like, does she speak English? And my husband was saying, yes, she's a graduate of English, can speak English. I just speaking English to you. And then another person said it will help if she can actually, communicate in English. And I thought, what's going on here? Well, I didn't really think too much of it, but I was stunned. But my husband spoke up for me. But I could interpret that scenario as they genuinely did not understand what I was saying. I then did not even pick up any. Maybe I was ignorant, but I didn't pick up any kind of, maybe they were making jest of me or trying to ridicule me. It was like they genuinely could not understand me. And it's fine, because when we talk about accents, everybody has an accent. Ours just become kind of strange because it's not local. Even people born here, people born anywhere you're born, you have an accent.
Yeah.
Yes. Our own is just kind of, or wherever you've come from as a migrant or wherever you're living, it's just kind of strange because it's not what the locals are used to.
You're not used to it.
Yes. And what we need you to know, you locals and you people born in a country or where you have other migrants, what you need to know is that we also, as migrants, we are also struggling to understand you. We are struggling to, it's not easy for us to understand you, especially when you're not talking in plain, simple, direct English. What they call Queen's English. When it's a presenter, a news presenter speaking, a formal person, an educated person speaking, we understand better. But when things are mixed up and that accent is heavy, we also struggle to understand you. We don't laugh at you. We ask questions, or we're trying to process it in our brains, like, how do we understand what you're saying? So it's the same for us. It makes it harder because then when you locals are laughing at us, it's kind of like, why? So I will give another example. I kind of have so many examples to give. And this example that I'm giving now is not in social work. It was before social work, and I was at work. And someone called and they wanted to ask information about their family member. And I was given the information. Mind you, I'd been in the UK at that time for a couple of years, or maybe even 3 or 4 years. And I was attending to the person and trying my, honest best to help them. And they told me on the phone, can you pass the phone to someone who speaks English? Yeah, let that sit with you. Can you pass the phone to someone who speaks English? And I said, I speak English and I'm speaking English to you and I can help you and I'm trying to help you. And then this person said, no, they would only speak to someone who would talk to them in English. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. There was nobody else in the team, so I had to go and get my manager. And I explained to my manager, and I've had different managers over the years working in this country, I tell you. And I explained to my manager what the person said on the phone. Mind you, they were on hold. And my manager came to the phone. She was furious. And she said to the person, one of my best staff, she's talking to you in English. I can understand what she's saying. The residents can understand what she's saying. And I'm sure that you can understand what she's saying. That's it. Nobody's going to speak to you today. So that was a direct dig at me. because I believe that if I was talking like a local, that would not have happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever thought, how would these people feel? And I want you to know that, most of us immigrants are actually quite educated. Yes, we're not dumb.
Yeah.
We're not stupid. And our accent, the way you perceive it as not being what you're used to, is not it's not your opportunity for you to look at us as dumb people
And to look down.
or for you to look down on us. I don't know if you want to share another example, because I've got lots of examples to share.
Okay, another one just came to mind. There was a time I was working somewhere too, and then we were supporting some people, one of the tenants in that place that we're supporting. I asked her what she would like me to make her for breakfast. And she said she wants a copper and a sour. And I was lost. I newly came into the UK then, so I didn't know what a copper was, and I didn't know what a sour was. And I asked her, sorry, I don't, and she was getting seriously frustrated, telling me, I'm speaking English to you. Just get me a copper and a sour. Was making faces at me, just very, I couldn't take it. I just went straight to the manager. I said, so person was asking me to make a copper and a sour. I don't know what that means. I'm not, where we come from, we don't call a cup of tea a copper.
No.
Where we come from, we don't call a sandwich a sour.
Sour.
That's not English, that's colloquial. But it's peculiar to them where they are, and that's where they say it like that. And I was kind of embarrassed, to be honest, because she actually spelled it out like she was speaking English to me. Can't you understand simple English? So that's one of the examples that I remember.
Yeah. But I think in that case, you were the one, your vocabulary was right. Your head was in the right place, if I may say. And it was the person that was not speaking proper English that we were taught in school, if I can put it that way, because as I said, there are different nuances, where people come from. So it might not be wrong to say it for that person, but what is wrong is not to have allowance that actually, this person may not be able to interpret or understand this thing this way, not because they're dumb, again, or not because they don't understand English, but maybe just a little more understanding, is what I think that locals need to have. Yeah. Okay. So this example again, I'm going to share two more examples. There are loads, and can I just mention that so many of the times that we've actually experienced negative reactions because of the way we speak, most of them are correct. They're not things that you can say like directly. It's the rolling of eyes, it's the attitude,
whatever that means.
Yeah, it's the you don't know what you're saying that you can pick up.
Do you speak any English at all?
So or your English is okay for someone who's come to live in this country. It's those kind of digs and those kind of, sometimes they're not so direct, but you will know that it's because of the way your words are coming out. So this example, I was in a team meeting and I was saying, and before I continue this story, I just want you to know that even after living in the UK for 18 years, or more, like our children were born here, they still correct us about things. We still say things that they cannot understand because of the way we say them. And they would be genuinely confused. And they will maybe ask us to spell or something. And then they will correct us. and we will try and take the correction. We always accept the correction. We don't always remember it because, mind you, we've been saying this thing this way for so many years, but we always try to um, take to correction whatever they're saying. And we're like that outside as well. If maybe we're saying something and someone genuinely does not understand us and they put us right, genuinely, honestly, yeah, we're happy to accept that. It's when it's coming with ridicule that is not okay. So this team meeting, I was making a point, and mind you, at that time I didn't even really used to have so much to say. And I was making a point, and I said about something that was sent to us, but it was in italics, and that was why I couldn't read. I couldn't read the letter properly because the person had written it or signed it in italics. And someone said, and this person is not even a white British person, was not a white British person. Yes, a local person, born here, but not even a white British person. And asked me to repeat myself, and I did. And she looked at everyone and said, like, "What do you mean?" And she asked me to explain what I meant. And then I started using my hand that when somebody writes like this, slanted like this, that is not straight. I started explaining like this. And then she went, "Oh, italics." And you will not believe this. If I was white, my shade would have turned red. I was so embarrassed. Look at me, graduate of English. They are correcting me. And at that time, I even had a master's degree, correcting me how to speak English in a team meeting. And so I apologized. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that's how that word is pronounced. And oh, sorry. Sorry about the mistake and for the confusion." And she was like, "It's okay. I just didn't understand. It wasn't making sense." Okay. And then I left the meeting. And I was like, what just happened there? Then, I checked. And it was definitely italics, not italics. And then you were not here then, and then I phoned you. And I told you what happened. Do you want to tell them what you said to me?
Yeah, I just told her to go back and let the lady know that, okay, she thanked her for attempting to correct her, that she was actually wrong and that she has checked and she has seen that she pronounced it correctly the first time. And she said, nah, but that was in a meeting, and then that would be somehow that. I said, you wait for when there is another meeting. And then after you've done the business of the day, raise it so that all the people that were there when she, corrected you, albeit wrongly, will be there again when you are trying to prove to her that you were right in the first instance.
Yeah. And you gave me the push and the courage, and my husband said, "You have to." He told me, "You have to, and you have to come back and tell me what happens when you do." And I was just thinking about it, I was very nervous, because I'm not as confident as my husband, and I don't find speaking or sometimes confrontation easy, except I
It's not
really, really have
confrontation.
to.
It's just
Yeah, for you it's a normal thing, but for me it's like it's like confrontation. Like I need to go back and speak and raise something that I could push under the carpet. But you
just
encouraged me and you told me no.
it's just to set the record straight.
Straight, yes. You were standing on business, like no, you have to, and you have to let me know how that goes. So anyway, waited for another team meeting, which was like maybe a month after. And then we had the meeting, and although the meeting, my heart was going boom, 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 my chest was going boom, 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 because I knew I had something to say. And I couldn't even trust myself whether I was going to say it or not. But I did. And at the end of the meeting, I said I had something to say, and my manager gave me the space. And I looked at her, and I said, "Oh," just like my husband said, "last time you corrected me about something that I raised in this meeting, and I thanked you for correcting me. But do you know what? I actually went to check it. I was right. You were wrong. You had no business correcting me if you didn't really know what you were saying, because you were wrong. I said, and you made such a big deal of it, and I was very embarrassed in this meeting last month. And you know what? I feel like there was no need for it, and I think you owe me an apology. And she looked lost. And she went, when did I ever correct you about anything? And I said the word. I said, here. I said, someone signed something in italics, and you told me it's italics. And I said, it's not italics. It's actually italics. And I was right. I don't know if there's anywhere in this world where they call it italics. I don't know. But I wasn't wrong. And she denied it. She said she never corrected me anything, that she never said anything to me at the last team meeting. And I said, I know it's a month ago, but you did, and you made such a big deal of it. And then the team members that said nothing at the first time, this time they actually said something. They said, you corrected her. You did. And it was very embarrassing. It was bad. And we understood, everybody understood what she was saying. And we're sure that you did too. My manager said, I think you owe her an apology. Oh, and she went angry, and it was out of order. And she said she wasn't going to apologize, and she did not apologize, and she left. And that's how the team meeting finished. But it was okay. I made my point, and that's when the other people who were in the meeting came to me and apologized and said that they were sorry that they never said anything in the first place. Speak up, yeah. But I felt good that I made my point, and that I said something, and that my husband actually encouraged me too. And do you know what she did? She called me into a corner and asked me if she could have a word. And I was reluctant. I said, I don't know if I want to have a word with you one-on-one, because you were very angry in the team meeting, and she promised me that it was going to be okay. And she took me into this corner, and then she said she felt bad for how she treated me, and that she wanted to apologize. And I was shocked, and I asked, why did you pull me in here to apologize to me when you could have apologized to me there? And she said, she had a moment and she thought about it and it was bad and she wanted to apologize. And I said, that's fine. And I appreciate you coming to call me to have a word and to apologize to me in private. But if you indeed want to apologize to me, wait till the next team meeting and apologize to me in front of everybody there where you embarrassed me, where this happened. And I remember when I was telling you, you said yes, that was the right response.
Yeah, the right thing to do.
That was the right thing to do. Yeah. And I don't know, but it's just like I would say at work, I'm taking this same person once. I said I was taking my son to guitar lesson, and she went, guitar, what's the meaning of guitar? And I had to be using my hand to describe what a guitar is. And he said, oh, guitar. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm not stressing the right syllable, but did you understand what I was saying? And did you have to roll your eyes? Or could you have corrected me in a calmer and more respectful manner? So I've got one final example to share. I don't know if you have any more to share.
I think I have one more. I just remember when you your own English is good for someone that's an immigrant or something like that.
Oh, that's from Nigeria, yeah.
So this one was about when I was still in the uni, master's degree. So there was a lady in class that sometimes I help with some of the subjects, and because for some of the tests that we did when we first started, initially when we started the program, she didn't get good scores. So she was just trying to justify to me why she didn't get good scores, and she said something about, I used to procrastinate a lot. I think I procrastinate a lot. That's why I've not been getting good grades. Oh, I said procrastinate. Do you even know what that means?
She said that to you because you said procrastinate.
No.
She said to you, do you even know what that means?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Do you even know what that means? And I told her, yeah, I know what. The point is, there's a way we get looked at. Like, maybe it's an unconscious bias, I don't know. Like we won't know what. I'm not holding her to any fault if genuinely she feels maybe I don't know what it means.
You have
But I don't think she will say same thing to a fellow white person.
talking like
Talking like, do you even know what that?
And there are so many white people who don't know the meaning of so many words.
Yeah.
So many white people with so many very limited vocabulary. So many, and that's not a lie.
So it won't be wrong. It won't be anything if she has said it to a fellow white person. You even know what that means. But saying it to an immigrant, someone that's not from here, it's kind of somehow. I told her constantly postponing a decision. That's what it means. Consciously postponing it. Saying, yeah, oh, your own English is good for someone that came from Nigeria. That was when the dam broke. I'm like, what do you mean? In Nigeria, we speak English, and we actually learn English. We were not just lucky that English it was just being spoken around us. No, we went to school to learn English from the get-go. So
Was she the one you told? Someone you told before that I actually understand English better than you. I speak better English. Yeah, go on, say it.
I told her that I probably speak better English than you.
Yeah.
I may not have the accent like you have because, of course, I wasn't born here. I told her, well, I probably speak better English. Because she was a nice girl, to be honest.
Okay.
But she didn't know that.
She needed to know.
Yeah, she didn't know that those subtle things you need to be careful before you say
those things.
Yeah.
In fact, that kind of summarizes the point of this video really well. The fact that we talk like this does not mean that you're more intelligent than us.
Yeah.
Does not mean that you're better than us. So you shouldn't, before you unconsciously shame another person, you need to be careful. My final example happened recently, not too far, and that's in social work. So that's just months ago. And that was what made me to start thinking that, yeah, I need to start talking about this on this channel and, my social media. I need to start raising awareness for people to know. And this made me feel so bad. So I was triaging, I'm a social worker. And, when someone is in crisis or there is an urgent need for a triage, it will come to the qualified clinician or qualified clinicians on duty. So I took a call, and the call was going to be a referral from two police, yes. And they gave me the patient's details, and I was putting the name onto the system, and I was struggling, and I couldn't find it, and I kept apologizing, putting them on hold, looking for this person, asking for other details, and I asked if the person was already known, because if it was a new person, then I wouldn't find it anyway. I needed to create a new record, and they said no, the person was known to mental health services, but I couldn't find the person, and so I said, wait a minute, can I just check, is the name this? And so I said the name. Guess what? The two police, it was a policeman and a policewoman, they just burst into laughter. Like, it was almost like uncontrollable laughter. Uncontrollable laughter. And then I asked, why are you cackling?
And I bet they didn't even know the meaning of the word cackling.
I asked, why are you cackling? Is it something I said? And they were begging my pardon. Like, beg your pardon, what did you say? Again, because I was already feeling a type of way about the way I spoke, I felt like maybe I'd said that word wrong again. And so I changed and I said, you both chuckled. Was this something I said? And then they were saying, oh, no, we just have a bad cough. Oh, he's just been coughing all day. And then I subtly said, it did sound like you were laughing at me because of something I said. Years ago, I wouldn't have said that on the phone, but they were professionals. There was no need for that. I felt like I needed to kind of stress it and hold them accountable for, laughing at the way I said something. and they were just stuttering and stammering and saying, oh, that they had a bad cough. You know, I helped them, and I was sharing this with my colleagues at work, like where I normally work, because that was just that was a bank shift that I was doing. And then my colleagues who, you know, are white British people, they felt bad. And one of them said something that actually, because I was saying that I know my weakness. I don't know how to say most English names, you know, and so many times I have to spell them because I understand that people sometimes when I say these English names, they don't understand. And then my colleague said, how many Nigerian names can we say?
Point.
And how many Nigerian names can we actually say correctly? I bet you've even had to shorten your name so that we can manage. So that was wrong. And then I thought maybe it's high time we started educating people about how to respond or react when you come in contact with people who are not native or locals. And the way we speak, the summary is that the way our words come out, if you don't take anything from this video, is that most of us who speak in a way that the locals are not used to, most of us actually speak another language. And do you know what that makes us? It makes us even more intelligent because we can still communicate to you in English. So before you take a dig at someone next time, please think. You know, could you react better? Could you respond better? Could you give an educated response and actually maybe educate the person genuinely? I think that would be more appreciated.
Sometimes I know mostly is ignorance. It's not like most of them were trying to be mean.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having
And,
me.
you know, share your stories, share what you've experienced, and take this opportunity to remember next time it happens to you, don't let it slide. But if you need to call it out, if it needs calling out, call it out. Okay. All right. Till we see you next time. Remember that I really do love you.